we've all heard the saying, if it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, and, well, it probably is a duck. But that is not the case for some House GOP members when it comes to TSA officers. Outraged over recent strip searches of the elderly and pat-downs of toddlers, they are backing a bill that would ban TSA officers from using the title officer, wearing a badge, or wearing uniforms resembling those of police officers. It's called the Stop TSA's Reach and Policy Act, or the Strip Act, something you probably can easily remember. There's been a lot of controversy about the TSA as of late. It has a budget of more than $8 billion. I spoke with the Secretary of Homeland Security, Janet Napolitano, about this week. She said the money is worth it.
We have the largest, most complex aviation system in the world. I think there's something like 1.8 million passengers fly every day, and 450 plus airports in the United States. And it is a very safe system, but it takes work to be there.
I also asked the Secretary about the badges issue, and she said that being a TSA officer is a very tough job.
If you make a mistake, if you miss something, you are the last line of defense before somebody gets on the plane. And, you know, the result could be very, very serious. And so our officers undergo a lot of training and continual. Every day they're getting briefed on new things that are coming through the system.
Joining us now is the sponsor of the Strip Act, Representative Marsha Blackburn, Republican of Tennessee. Representative, good to have you with us. We appreciate it.
Good to be with you.
She makes a good case. These people do have a lot of pressure on them, and they are the last line. And I'm wondering why it is that you think this badge issue and uniform issue is so important.
I think it's important because they are not officers. They are not federal law enforcement officers. They do not get any federal law enforcement officer training. They are not eligible for those benefits. And even though they have gone to wearing these uniforms, which they did this through administrative rulemaking, not through coming to Congress, they wear the uniforms, they wear the badge. We still have had over 25,000 breaches. And what we are saying is, look, these are screeners. You have reclassified their job title to say officers. You did that administratively. They should go back to being screeners and focus on protecting the flying public, not to overreaching their authority because they're wearing a law enforcement uniform and a badge.
Well, what do we get if they take it off? I mean, I'm just curious because the American Federation of Government Employees said the bill is insulting to the 44,000 TSA workers that they represent. They say, look, you can get what you want in your bill. It doesn't add anything to national security. It's just insulting to them. What do you say to that?
I say that what we're talking about is TSA has now become the largest agency. When you're looking at employment, it's larger than labor, education, energy, HUD, and the State Department combined. 65,000 employees. They have unionized 40,000 of these screeners. And it should not be insulting to say, look, you need to go and be a screener. Is it insulting to federal law enforcement officers that you have someone who is a screener with minimal training? They advertise for screeners on pizza boxes and at discount gas stations in the Washington, D.C. area.
Right.
They do not have to go through this law enforcement training. Maybe they should stop impersonating federal law enforcement officers and stop the overreach. Get back to assisting and protecting the traveling public.
Why, though, do this bill? Why not just go all the way, as some have who are running for president in the Republican Party, and say just get rid of the TSA altogether, or even the DHS?
What we want to do is put the focus back on protecting the traveling public. And they have a task to perform, which is to make certain that individuals are meeting the guidelines and not traveling with things they should not be. But what we also want to do is make certain that we're getting a good value for the dollar that is spent. You can look at the study that was done comparing the cost of screeners at San Francisco and LAX. TSA does the security at LAX. At San Francisco, it is done by a private company. It costs $11,000 less per individual to train to TSA standards, and they find more items that should be removed before individuals get on the planes. So I think that what we're trying to do is focus, Erin, on how do you make certain that individuals are safe. How do you do it in a way that is going to be sensitive to the taxpayer, respectful of the individuals flying, and not allow these TSA screeners to impersonate federal officers?
All right. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate your taking the time. And viewers, let us know what you think about the badge issue and about the TSA. Whether you think they make this country safer. I know a lot of you are. Some people are probably watching in an airport tonight, probably throwing things at the screens. They're not very happy with the TSA, but nonetheless, please get on your iPad, go to the blog, and let us know.